play? I mean, it looks like we got our answers right here. Teros and Finn versus, of course, Wilson. Rockin', well, it looks like it's going to be Teros as well. But then Cody Travis, of course, on the Barraza. I don't think anyone's surprised by that pick.
I mean, that is synonymous with Cody Travis. It's got to be Barraza. It's got to be, the more machine than man version.
As Scythe is to Sandstorm, Cody Travis is to Barraza. The two just go hand in hand. Hey, but here we go, starting off game 1 on Miami Dome. Looks like Wilson trying to get some hits here on side here on Nick. Looks like he's able to get that as well. Okay.
Oh my gosh, the handoff, Wilson getting chewed up and spit out. There's just a ton of giant weapons on stage. It's all axes and hammers.
There we go. Everyone wants to make sure every hit chunks.
Ooh. Wilson got knocked out, but Cody looking for the revenge. Got Blaizzy up into the side, even punishing Doe, and the handoff with Wilson. Tons of damage.
Yeah, was able to do it so quickly. Immediately did that jump there to pass it over. And now, not enough to KO on that neutral air, but the Sair will be enough.
Oh, a little bit of team combo. Just a quick on-the-fly dodge read.
And just
Wilson
like
with that hammer.
Especially getting it on to Blaze right there. I mean, not too much defense there. That's a lot of damage. Oh.
Just like that. That's the problem with the Blaster's recovery. It does last so long, and it doesn't have a lot of priority. Those early flips, it's all just your feet tucked around your chest.
And there we go. Another Sair coming out. Right into the blast zone. Opportunity for a 2v1. No. Looks like Cody Travis is going to be able to find that KO on the right side. And then there we go. Wilson.
Time and again.
On the left side.
It's Wilson, firing back and the one to even up the stocks over and again. I mean, he is the one that has been getting knocked out first. I don't want to say that, especially because he's down on his final one. But it's been Cody here that has been the major stock tank. That is the standard Barraza play.
And honestly, it's working out so far. I mean,
ooh. Yo, big axe ground pound from Blaizzy has Wilson down and out. Cody left alone, but 2 stocks and a ton of defense between him and defeat.
Now let's see what Cody has to do here. All right, doing decent thus far. Is able to get that reverse nair off the side there and almost getting the KO. Hold on. Will Cody actually be able to do this? D-Light Sair secures 1 stock.
Yep, Blaizzy with that Finn the Human, now prepping a weapon toss to delay the next one, stealing it out from Cody. Cody left unarmed as he's back in here. Big uppercut. Doe and Blaizzy really, just continuing the weapon starve. Cody left unarmed, trying to dodge around, find any semblance of stability.
Yeah, and it looks like the only hits Cody's really been able to land.
Oh! Big jump over that gravity cancel attack. Cody, ground pound onto Blaizzy, almost took him out. He's got Doe and Blaizzy both into the and the baton pass. Doe into Blaizzy, taking out Cody.
Now that was a clean conversion there immediately into that gravity cancel side signature to secure the stock there. It was looking like Cody was actually having a pretty decent matchup there, right? We saw him get that ground pound.
I thought he was going to do it.
I was like, oh, wow, was that the stock? There wasn't quite enough force on that ground pound to secure it, but it could have been a completely different game.
Yeah, and now they're going to be rolling for the next match. Jeez. All right, so it's Doe and Blaizzy with that phenomenal handoff at the end. I know we were talking about this before while we were watching in the conference room, because anytime that you get those double side airs or a side signature into a side signature that goes in the same way and you're basically just signal boosting to reach that knockout line, we're like, oh, is that the handoff? Is that whatever? And then
Tom pass, the metronome.
That's what you hit it with, man.
There's so many, because it's magnified, right? It's it's not. The impact, I'll say, is magnified.
You take the damage from both, and you cut the distance to the knockout line in half. It's absolutely crazy.
It's like, what do? It's nothing. You just take it.
You're along for the ride.
Hold it in your chest.
That's really it. You were just along for the ride as long as they want to go for it. And you probably, if you manage to survive that, you've got 2 high-power weapon throws coming your way. In most cases.
And you only got 1 dodge, man. So you got to pick your solution wisely. Maybe throw a little bit of a fastball, then jump, then air dodge. You really got to mix it up because they're going to cover options, man.
Oh, yeah. So while we wait for that next match to start, I just want to go through and refresh us up on where we are in this bracket. because winner's final has been decided. It is going to be Boomy and Sandstorm, Team Tempo Storm, versus Daze and Pugsy. Yeah, so Pugsy poised, I don't know, man. Is he going to be the all-around winter champion for North America?
Well, that would be a statement, especially when you kind of consider, like, last weekend, Stingray, not to take any of Pugsy's accomplishment away from him,
of course,
but Stingray did take out a decent chunk of the competition.
He was a big story.
That kind of, like, manipulated the bracket in a certain way. You know what I mean? But this time around, there's no denying the skill here. One, he won last weekend. Here, not only would he be winning again, but he'd be winning with Daze, who looks like he has something to prove as well.
Oh, yeah.
Against the indisputable best doubles team in Brawlhalla.
I mean, the current reigning 2v2 world champions.
For good reason.
Absolutely. So now, fighting on that lower side, you know, we are currently watching Doe and Blaizzy versus Cody Travis and STTP Wilson. Doe and Blaizzy are up 1-0. Simba and Santi are going to be fighting against Pier and Wing Shell. I know there are a ton of fans out in chat
for Wing Shell.
Wing Shell, man. Everybody loves Wing Shell. Everybody loves Pier. They're all talking, oh, Pier is here. That's what they're looking for. But, man, Simba, he was grinding so hard during the offseason. Everybody, like, he is the player that was on everybody's lips last weekend leading into the tournament. They're like, yo, you got to watch out, Simba. Simba's that dude. So I really want to see what he has for the doubles tournament. I know he wasn't too happy with his placing last week, so he might have a little bit something to prove, but I'm very, very pleased to see him in top 8 here. So that's going to be fighting through, and then waiting in losers quarterfinals for the winner of those respective matches. There's Tiffany and Bacon Underscore, who we just saw fall, gets sent down in the lower bracket, and Noel and Ethan.
Right, which, you know, it's always weird because Noel and Ethan, I mean, really at this point it's top 8, right? You know, any combination of these players, it's like, you know, whatever. Any of them could be grand finals, let's say. But, like, it's always interesting to see how the partner shift kind of changes throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, Cooey would be with Bacon, but now you got Tiffany and Bacon, and it kind of, they swap off.
Everybody jumbling.
And it creates for some really cool, unique interactions, but also some, like, really interesting storylines where you have, you know, your ex-partner on the other end, and you have to be the one to kind of put them out.
Man, that is something that we have dealt with in the Brawlhalla esports scene so many times, especially like at the start of last year when, you know, there were the 3 leading teams that all sort of just did opposite rotations of like who is on which team. And that's the current landscape that we have right now, because I mean, Noel was with Blood Diamond for so long, but him and Ethan have just been tearing it up. I'm glad to see them,
team,
just returning this year saying, you know what? We felt pretty good about how we finished out in 2019.
Let's bring that back.
Let's refresh it for 2020.
I mean, I feel that, like, if a Netflix show does well enough, you got to bring it back for a second season. It's just only right for the fans, right? Like, you can't.
That's what it is. Second season, couple more episodes. That's what it's all about.
OVA, maybe a feature film. Get the merch sales up. You got to do everything. Yeah. But with that said, man, I don't know. I'm excited. We had already, I mean, even coming into the stream, you know, I'm sure there are plenty of other amazing matches that happened that we didn't even get to see, but from the moment that we went live, it's just been action after action after action after action.
High-powered matches. That's something that I absolutely love to see, just because it is the continuous increase in skill and the depth of field. Because, you know, it used to be like, okay, yeah, the top 8, oh my God, that's when things were amazing, you know, years ago. It'd be like, okay, yeah, you get people scrapping around, and then top 16 it started boiling down to. Now it was, you know, even last weekend we're like, oh man, we only streamed top 8 of these, but there were crazy matches happening in the top 16, the top 32, and that's why we had to start there today.
And then the other thing that I love too is that the average skill of a Brawlhalla player over time has just like skyrocketed. I remember when I first started playing several years ago, I was like, gold? Y'all are saying this is hard to get or whatever, diamond, whatever. But now it's like, man, the average skill of like a plat player, I'm like, ooh, hold on, slow down a little bit. And it's great seeing some of these people rise up from out of nowhere, or even with the cross-play on the different platforms. You got all kinds of people we never heard of showing up.
Yeah, I'm very glad to see, because I know we always had a ton of high caliber players over on, let's say, like PlayStation 4. And now, like, since the crossplay is going on, I mean, everybody's able to just come in and throw their hat in the ring.
Throw a little Mario Odyssey, just
whip it in there, man.
Just gotta do a quick one. But no, it's great, and especially with mobile coming out sometime later this year, maybe you're gonna have. I'm telling you, man, those 5-year-olds on the tablets, they're gonna be going crazy, and nobody's scared of them yet. Nobody knows.
Is that your pick? Do you think? All right, so Doe and Blaizzy versus Cody Travis and Wilson. Do you think Wilson is gonna shift over and be that mobile player?
It might just be.
I feel like he's got the attitude for it, because he'd be like, I'm going to prove that I can just beat these kids on anything.
On anything.
Anything.
Yep. He's the type. I 100% believe.
Gosh.
He might be the dude to be like, hold on, let me get my Surface Pro, whatever. Let me, map the buttons out, start doing D-Light sayers. But it's going to be crazy, man. I cannot wait. This year is going to be, I mean, it's not going to be. It's already starting off as the best year of Brawlhalla yet, and it's only going to get better from there, man.
That's right, because we've got 2v2 North American side. That's what we're boiling through right now. But later today, we have action coming from the Australian and the Southeast Asian regions. And that's not all, because tomorrow is going to be the European region and the South American region.
Yeah, we got a lineup. You know what I mean? And not just like any lineup. It's like you go to the barber and you ask for a crisp fade along with it. Like, we have the entire package. You do not want to miss any of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we've been talking about this, when we're on break in between in the conference room and everything. The big story for Southeast Asia and Australia, they haven't had 2v2 tournaments before. Not official 2v2 tournaments, just like community-run ones. But now that they are part of those 2v2 seasonal championships, who's going to team with who?
Like, what's the expectation? And you also have to think as well, like, okay, cool, we've had some community-driven tournaments, maybe some Brawl League stuff, maybe some, like, Tricks Brawlhalla type stuff for it. But even with that, the moment, like, you start throwing in, like, well, this is part of, like, the official Brawlhalla circuit, and you start throwing in, some of the pot at people, then people you never even heard of start showing up, entering the bracket, and you have a completely different landscape to deal with.
Yeah, so that's I just love the new year, the teams that brings, and it looks like Cody Travis and Wilson against Blaizzy and Doe are hopping in. They got the map bands out. I'm curious whether this will be just a stability button check that they're looking for, or if they're running right into it. Oh my gosh, swinging for the skies.
Yeah, it looks like a real match to me, man. That's the way they're scrapping it out. Looks like this is how the game 2 will roll.
Yep, ton of damage onto Blaizzy. Wilson a little worse for wear, both of them. Oh my gosh, everybody entering the orange except for Cody Travis. He just comes swinging, barreling through with that axe.
And that's the scary thing as well. I mean, we were talking about it before in Game 1. Cody Travis always occupies the role as that stock tank. And Brawlhalla being a very, 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 kind of beefy legend, always kind of takes a while to knock out to begin with. So if you're looking at the screen and you're saying, oh, Brawlhalla's the healthiest one on the screen, then you got a problem.
All right, so now we've got, Doe getting sent into the red. Blaizzy is down on 2 stocks. It is 1-0 in the set right now, but Wilson, 1 stock gone. Cody with 3 stocks, Wilson with 2, Doe with 3, Blaizzy with 2. Oh no! Scratch that. Blue team, Doe and Blaizzy down at 2 stocks each. Cody again, the only stock tank left on the map.
Go. Oh, man, just to avoid the end-sig, but not the neutral light from Wilson. And Wilson getting both members of the blue team caught up in that signature as he gets forced into the corner by Duh, but it will not be enough here as Blaizzy does find himself escorted to the blast zone.
All right, Blaizzy needs to be so incredibly careful. I got to tell you, Wilson now down to his final stock. Somehow, Cody did not get knocked out by that up there.
Cody still hanging on. You can see Blaizzy trying to get the final hit. A neutral light still not enough to take out Cody, and just gives Wilson a chance to rack up a little bit more damage on stage. Cody still playing the support role. Beautiful catch from Wilson. Almost gets the back hit of that down sig, but gets stuffed right before he can.
Whoa! Doe with a massive down signature from Taro's axe. Almost even taking out his teammate too, but no, Wilson cleaning it up. 1 stock apiece all around except for Cody. Blaizzy is now out of here. Yeah. That's what I was mentioning before. Finn the Human, he is just human. He has such little defense.
There's only so much you can do against tyrants like these. And Yeah, that's
Wilson
tough.
covering low, Cody covering high. So now that is tying them up 1-0 in the set.
There we go.
Or 1-1 in the set. So Wilson and Cody, they've got the momentum. Doe and Blaizzy.
There we go. And so for that game, we had a bit of a shift in the way it played out, right? The first time around, I was like, oh, okay, you know, Wilson's doing his thing, almost bringing it back, whatever. But then we saw in that second Miami Dome game, it's kind of like, it's really, man, can I avoid the signatures from Teros? You know,
That's
it's like,
the
all
big
right,
thing, because those
coming
signatures
out.
hit like a truck.
And the base stage is so small on Miami Dome that it's like, all right, well, if Teros is doing an Axe Ensig, he's covering like a third of the stage, and I'm trying to get back on. How do I dodge? And there's another person over there. My teammate's doing this, and there's so many hitboxes to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
One small mistake, and you're finding yourself completely off stage.
I mean, that Teros down signature to clear the field, that one, it hits so incredibly hard, and there's just this rainbow arc around you of pure destruction.
He's just mad. You know, it's like, get off
So
me,
angry.
bro. You just right out through the nose, just lets everybody know what's going down. But on the other end, though, Cody was being untouched pretty much that entire game, weaving in and out and around hitboxes. Even when he did get hit, he knew what hits he could take and which hits he could not. So it'd be something like, okay, he's going to do a neutral light. Yeah, sure, I'm fine getting hit by the neutral light if it means I'm not getting hit by the side sig that would have KO'd me. And you just make his way back to the stage and just continue playing the support role.
That's the thing. So that's what Cody is just like known for. Even when he would play with Isidru, he is that stock tank. He plays Barasa. That's one of the highest defense legends in the game. So he can just take hits. But I got to tell you, he doesn't take hits that often. He doesn't play as fast and loose as you would expect somebody playing with that high of a defense. He still, watches his movement and flits around exactly where, finding his way between the attacks to snipe him out.
And I like the fact that you pointed that out, because there's two kinds of players. There's the kind of player that, they have maybe a faster legend, and they're just kind of like zoom around the stage and try to confuse their opponent with their movement. Whereas Cody is kind of the opposite. Not to say that his movement is poor or anything like that, but he would rather pick carefully where he'd like to step, just to make sure he gets out the way, or he avoids a hitbox, or maybe, he'll confuse you a little bit, but nothing so flashy to make you think, oh, well, he's just trying to mix me up. I'm just going to overreach a little bit with my attack to try and hit him. He's always one step ahead. And it's just really difficult to deal with, especially with all the chaos of twos. And ones, it's a little bit easier to kind of focus in on, okay, he's doing this, he's going to dodge this way. But, man, the moment you throw a teammate in there, and then you throw a Teros on top of that, and you throw a small stage on top of that, it's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to watch out. So it looks like they're going to be figuring it out, getting their themselves set up.
Ooh. Yeah, you're going to see what the setup is here indeed. Sometimes you just got to go for a little bit of a mix-up as well. If you take a look at, maybe we'll mix it up. But, yeah, we'll see what we got in store.
That's what they're looking out for. And right now, let's see, calling over.
Taking a look, all right, and it looks like, once again, it's looking like we're going right back into it. It might be game 3 here on Miami Dome. Let's go ahead and playing off the stage a little bit.
Scrapping around just a moment.
Ooh, and I like that signature as well.
We're going to be getting the game room number here in just a moment from the backstage production.
Yeah, sometimes you got to phone in Otacon. Just one of those things like, hey, what's going on, Snake? Hey, help a brother out. He always comes through, so.
That's what we're looking for. I know tournament admins, they're in the back. They're setting this all up, making sure that the tournament runs through its paces.
You gotta have, when you got a knife, you just chop off some butter. It's always a nice, clean cut. It's not really jagged.
Is that what you were doing? I know you were talking about you and Photo, getting some food earlier,
Oh, well, yeah, we got that mahi.
Okay.
Mahi always hits. Pretty good, but yeah, it is what it is. What's the plan? We're gonna be
so just
tussling
uncooked
down.
raw food in there.
Well,
Is that how, you know, Doe and Blaizzy are going to cook Travis and Wilson for the rest of this set?
His name is Blaizzy, so you know he has to bring the fire.
Okay, I understand. I understand. They are tied up 1-1 in the set. Oh, yeah, there we are, flying into the match. And we are just a minute into it. Cody, Travis, and Wilson, 2 stocks apiece. Doe and Blaizzy, 3 stocks, 2 stocks. Red across the field. Blaizzy almost getting knocked all the way across the field, but still surviving. No, Doe, wow, just manages to make it back, touch the bottom corner of the map.
There we go. I think may have even been hit by maybe 2 attacks there, getting sent off the right side. And now Wilson holding center stage, weapon starving the opponents here, but doesn't even matter. We're seeing Doe run straight at him with the unarmed recovery, trying to secure that KO.
Oh, and there it is again. Just the angry shout from Teros, taking down Blaizzy to his final stock.
Doe, Cody, all right, gets 2 neutral airs, try to go for a third, but he's unable to find it, but is racking up good damage nonetheless. There we go again, goes for the down air conversion this time around, but is unable to find it, but that's a nice conversion from Blaizzy, going for the D-Light recovery, the tried and true. KO confirmed that the sword has at its disposal.
Doe and Blaizzy with those large weapons, getting hit after hit onto Wilson. Trying to build that damage. He is the weak link on the team at the moment, down to 1 stock, but Blaizzy is the weak link for the blue team. It's going to be a race to see who can knock out the others first. Whoa, now they've got a momentary power play against Blaizzy. Doe was taken out, and Cody Travis sniping him out. Now they've got that 2v1 power play against Doe for the rest of the game.
Oh, there we go. It's a nice conversion. Ooh.
Yo, damage.
Almost getting the cleanest conversion, managed to drop it maybe a little bit, 2/3 of the way through there, but got so much damage that at this point, there's only so much more Doe can do.
I mean, he's got to find his way back onto the ground. The weapon got knocked out of his hand. He's left unarmed. Uh-oh, 1 dive kick. Wilson surviving. A little bit of friendly fire onto Cody Travis. Doe trying to capitalize, but no. All right, Cody getting taken out, but had 2 stocks.
If you know what do you do here, you get hit by the unarmed neutralite, I suppose, try to make your way back to take one more time. And
oh,
they're
the
stacking
setup?
on top of each other.
That's the thing about blasters. Oh, man, couldn't dive kick the bottom corner there, and that's going to be 2-1 advantage, Cody Travis and Wilson.
Okay, so game 3, not looking too bad there. You know, we're able to hang with the best of them. You know, we did end up seeing kind of a bit of offstage play again. It always comes down to some of those moments, it seems, where, you know, you have someone off stage, the other person has a hammer, and it's a matter of will they be able to secure the gimp, or alternatively, is it going to be one of those moments where they go for the recovery, they miss it, and then someone gets to turn around, and then it all goes downhill from there. But it looks like we're back to
dangerous. Dome. Back to the Dome. Miami Dome. No legend swaps. Doe and Wilson just mirroring each other on that Teros. But where Blaizzy has almost no defense, Cody Travis has all the defense.
Cody Travis fighting his way off the side of the stage with those neutral lights from the gun, or rather neutral layers, but still just kind of holding the corner. This time around, though, it's taking quite a few hits. He's not able to kind of avoid the hitboxes as cleanly this time around. There we go, Wilson, daily double. Whoa.
Oh my gosh! Getting the knockout onto Blaizzy from so far away. I can't believe he had enough damage on there to close it out.
Man, Cody able to hang on. Once again, that recovery, not able to KO. Blue team has him down the side here. I like that dash weapon there from Blaizzy, but it looks like Doe may need help here. Nope. Looks like Cody will not go for the edge guard. Instead, Doe still stuck in the corner, trying to fight his way in. That down sig covering the dodge in there.
Ooh. So much damage onto Wilson. Is really building up. He's got to find his way back onto stage. Doe babysitting him around the corner. Goes for the ground pound. No, Wilson finding his way back onto stage.
Tried to go for a read there on the movement, was unable to find it. Red team pushing forward here as the blue team tries to regain center, but Cody is just controlling the stage.
Oh, and Wilson getting chopped down by Blaizzy. And Cody, is this the end for him as well? I like how Wilson rotated over while he still had his invulnerability time to try and save Cody. And with that, they were able to turn it around. Now Doe taken down to his second stock. Blaizzy, oh, Wilson with that turnaround onto Blaizzy. Blaizzy got so incredibly greedy with that gravity cancel side signature.
You just start feeling everything lining up, and you're like, all right, it's my time. And just like that, hold on, this could be potentially 2 stocks back to back. Blaizzy not able to find the hit there to actually secure the KO on a Wilson, and Wilson's on his last stock. They just need to find that one juicy hit to set this up for 2v1.
Man, Doe and Blaizzy doing their best to stay alive and tie up this set, because it is 2-1 advantage to Cody, Travis, and Wilson. And now Wilson is gone. Blaizzy and Doe have that 2v1 power play against Cody, Travis.
That's not going to be enough. Cody trying to fight here with the unarmed. Gets the ground pound. Not going to be enough. Not enough damage racked up on a Blaizzy. Narrowly avoiding double weapon tosses.
Man, I always get so nervous when I hear that sound. The stuffed recovery. You see the orange stars come out. It just sounds like a metal pipe hit some cinder blocks, and that was you.
I was like, man, you do not want to be on the receiving end of that. But unfortunately, looks like Cody's going to be on the receiving end of a lot more pain, as he has so much trouble getting back down to the ground. Ooh. Wow, that was such a quick response from Doe here.
I mean, that's the kind of damage you need. Try and close this out before Cody can turn it around at all.
Cody gets scooped.
Whoa, getting just over the weapon toss from Blaizzy.
Just trying to find that hit. He doesn't want to commit to something too strong, but that'll do it.
And that ties up the set 2-2. Doe and Blaizzy bringing it the distance.
Here we go again. Another Game 5 set TWK as we continue to move on in this top 8 here. And it looks like, what do you think the pick's going to be?
Man, I would not want to go back to Miami Dome if I were Wilson and Cody.
Yeah.
I would just want something fresh, something new, different. Yep, there it is. Miami Dome banned out, and we're going to Apocalypse.
Okay, so now that's a pretty clean change of pace there, if I do say so myself. You got a little bit more space to work around with in terms of the base platform itself, but also just the kill boxes. In comparison to Miami Dome, you got a whole lot more space. This is a perfect stage for someone like Cody Travis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got the high defense, and I know, like, Doe and Blaizzy, they have 2 very high-strength legends, so trying to delay their knockouts at all is just going to work out better for Cody and Wilson.
Going like this, Cody keeping Blaizzy in the air here. Doe trying to come back down on Wilson. Wilson starting the juggles. I like the dodge from Doe, but Doe only just now making it back to the base platform.
Doe sent up off the top, got the weapon knocked out of his hand. He's unarmed, trying to find his way back to stage. Blaizzy getting knocked out in the meantime. Doe left alone. He managed to grab the hammer, but Cody just blasting him out for his trouble.
And I think what we actually saw there is I think we saw Blaizzy try to go for the confirmed. We've seen Pugsy get multiple times today, but ended up getting the side sig instead of the neutral sig.
Man, Wilson dodged so many weapon tosses to just be taken out by a dive kick from Doe.
Sometimes you just got to keep it nice and simple. Just kind of put the toes out and get the gimp.
I mean, that's the thing. The weapon tosses are there to force out their options. You're still going to have to finish the edge guard yourself.
Ooh. Okay, Wilson.
My gosh, the sound of so many heavy hits rattling again and again. How is Doe still alive? Look at him. He's in that deep barbecue sauce color.
Wow, man. Just a weave through that as well. Somehow still in here. Finds a Sayer. Might be able to secure another KO before going out. Can see. Ooh, tries to go for the D-Light. Wow. Look at the movement. Finally got KO'd, but
yo, damage. Damage onto Blaizzy. Oh my gosh. Cody getting taken for a ride there. Doe went for the save, wasn't able to do it, and Blaizzy is out just like that so early on into the match. Doe has 2 fresh stocks, but his teammate has none.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Here already we can see the first big chunk of damage coming out, leading to the light orange. We're looking for a little bit more. You know, the next time Cody is able to land maybe a neutral light or like a down light.
Oh my gosh.
Not even going to talk about that. We're on to the next stock already.
Hammer ground pound, so incredibly destructive, especially on a high force legend like Taros. Now everything falls onto Doe's back. He's got to carry this through. It is 2-2 in the set. This is lower bracket action. So, and just like that, Doe and Blaizzy getting knocked out into 7th place. Cody, Travis, and Wilson will be moving on.
There you go. And man, it was valiantly fought.
I mean, yeah.
That last game, it really seemed like Wilson and Cody must have just bullied Blaizzy to death because it just kind of seemed like Doe was sitting there, was doing a pretty good job of being a stock tank, but you taking the stocks for at that
Yep.
point? You know,
That's where you kind of run into a little bit of danger, because if you start building up a lot of damage on yourself, every hit that they get just knocks you so far away from stage, and that leaves your